Muhammad Ali may be the most famous athlete. June saw the greatest perish. Ideals within and outside the ring. The world-shaking heavyweight champion challenged governments and redefined greatness. Outside the ring, Muhammad Ali faced an unwinnable struggle and a betrayal greater than any loss. It came from the lady he once loved, the one he thought would stand by him in his greatness. Their fairy tale romance ended in heartbreak that he suffered in quiet. Ali's private life. Did Ali ever forgive her? His name is Ali. Muhammad Ali was one of the 20th century's most famous figures. He ruled boxing, became a global hero, and championed justice and dignity. Despite his victories, medals, and admiration, his life beyond the arena was far from flawless. His relationships with women, especially his closest ones, were turbulent, disappointing, and heartbreaking. He held grudges and unresolved feelings even in his dying years, which most fans never noticed. Muhammad Ali was born in Louisville, Kentucky, on January 17, 1942. He endured poverty, bigotry, and injustice as a child in the segregated South. His father was a sign painter and his mother was a housewife who kept the family together. Ali was not physically big or imposing as a child, but he possessed energy, charisma, and early drive that set him apart. His fighting career began with a stolen bicycle aged 12. After his bike was stolen, he was outraged and informed a police officer he wanted to fight the perpetrator. Martin, who trained young boxers, advised him to learn to fight first. That moment changed everything. The bike-angry boy discovered his speed, reflexes, and self-confidence under Martin's instruction. Ali's amateur boxing ascension was rapid. At 18, he represented the U.S. at the Rome Olympics. The light heavyweight gold medalist impressed onlookers with his quick feet and stinging punches. It showed the Louisville boy that he could dream big and achieve success. Some historians dispute his assertion that he threw his gold medal into the Ohio River after facing bigotry at home. Ali's Olympic victory started a world-changing career. Ali became a world-class boxer and showman after becoming pro in 1960. He was bold, talkative, and unafraid to taunt his opponents with rhymes and predictions, unlike other fighters of the time. At 22, he defeated Sonny Liston to win the World Heavyweight Champion in 1964, shocking the sports world. Few believed he could accomplish it, but Ali won and dominated, establishing himself as a new kind of champion who was both athletic and entertaining. Around this time, Ali's life changed dramatically outside the ring. He converted to Islam and changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali after defeating Liston. This choice was controversial since many Americans distrusted Islam. Yet Ali persisted. He insisted on being known by his new name. He utilized his prominence to start talks about race, identity, and freedom in America. Ali's defiance of U.S. induction in 1967 tested his convictions again. Vietnam War Army. He refused to fight, regardless of the repercussions, citing his religious beliefs against the war. The blowback was swift and severe. Ali lost his heavyweight title, was banned from boxing for 3 years, and faced prison. Some considered him unpatriotic, but others saw him as a man of conviction who would sacrifice everything for his beliefs. He was vindicated when the Supreme Court reversed his conviction in 1971. The new era of boxing brought Ali renowned rivals. It was called the Challenge of the Century when he returned to challenge Joe Frazier in 1971. Ali lost his first professional fight to Frazier in a tough fight. Ali didn't rest long. He defeated George Foreman in Zaire in 1974, a boxing upset that may be the most memorable. Ali's plan of tiring Foreman out before counterattacking was brilliant in that battle. In 1975, Ali and Frazier returned for a brutal bout that exhausted both men. Ali fought 61 times in his career, retired in 1981 with 56 victories, 37 by knockout, and 5 losses. His boxing accomplishments made him one of the finest ever. Beyond boxing, he promoted peace, justice, and humanitarianism worldwide. He was loved worldwide for his charm, wit, and charisma, transcending the sport. Sports Illustrated and the BBC named him Sportsman of the Century for his legacy. His courage in the ring and in the stands won over even his detractors. Ali's personal life was more challenging than his public victories. Behind the brilliant lights and thundering ovation were broken marriages, scarred relationships, and unhealed wounds. Ali was special in the ring but defective in the heart. He battled hidden personal issues that persisted to the end of his life. Women in his life. Muhammad Ali's personal life was complicated despite his boxing success. His fame made him a global figure, but it hampered his relationships with women. Over his lifetime, Ali married 4 times and had 9 children. Each marriage has its own love, struggle, and heartache. Women in his life saw a side of Ali the public rarely saw. They loved him, but being attached to the greatest caused pandemonium. Ali married in 1964, in the height of his fame. Following his shock win over Sonny Liston, the 22-year-old champion married Sanjay Roy, a cocktail server he met in Chicago. Their passionate relationship ended in divorce 2 years later. Though brief, Sanjay's connection with Ali set the tone for many of his future relationships, which were distinguished by passion, conflict, and unrealistic demands. Ali remarried in 1967, a year following his divorce. After converting to Islam, Belinda Boyd became Khalila Ali. Khalila was 17 and Ali 25 when they married. Their decade-long marriage produced 4 children and was his longest before he found his final partner. In addition to being Ali's mother, Khalila knew the weight of his reputation and civic responsibilities. The marriage was never easy. Ali's frequent travel, his famous infidelity, and strenuous boxing schedule caused major fissures. Khalila called Ali an addict and said she often had to book hotel rooms for his mistresses. Her openness showed how much she struggled to keep their family together in the shadow of a guy admired by millions, yet unfaithful at home. The marriage ended in 1977. Tensions grew too great, and Khalila could no longer endure his behavior. Ali married again the same year to actress and model Veronica Portia, a friend from his marriage to Khalila. Hannah and Layla were Veronica and Ali's daughters. Naturally, Layla became a professional boxer and succeeded in the ring like her father. Ali and Veronica shared love and family, yet his same difficulties persisted in this new marriage. Ali had many brief affairs with little emotional attachment, according to Veronica. It didn't make them easier to live with. 9 years together ended in 1986 with a divorce. Ali married for life later that year. He married Yolanda Lonnie Williams, Lonnie Ali, in November 1986. His marriage was long-term, unlike his prior ones. Lonnie knew Ali from childhood. After growing up in the same Louisville neighborhood, she idolized him before he was famous. After Ali's boxing career ended and his health declined, their friendship became romance. Lonnie provided Ali stability that his previous marriages lacked. As a wife and caretaker, she supported him after his mid-1980s Parkinson's diagnosis. She stayed with him for 30 years till his 2016 death. Lonnie was known by friends and family for managing Ali's public image and preserving his legacy. Lonnie helped Ali live his senior years with dignity despite his background and his children from previous marriages. Ali had 9 children from marriages and various partnerships. Besides the 4 children with Khalila and the 2 with Veronica, he fathered others through different relationships and considered them family. Despite the challenges, many of his children stayed close. Notably in his later years when health issues united the family. Layla Ali was influential in continuing her father's legacy, but she wasn't alone. His children regularly talked about the difficulty of growing up with a renowned father and his love and encouragement. Ali lost interest in the tumult of his youth by the time he settled with Lonnie. Health prompted him to slow down, and he prioritized tranquility, family, and legacy. The memories of such battles and betrayals persisted. Though they admired him in other ways, they shaped how some of his women remembered him. Ali went on to defeat boxing legends. His personal struggles were as important as his ring victories, and he often fought them at home. Battles outside the ring. Muhammad Ali will always be renowned for his boxing. He has more to his narrative than career success. His greatest bouts were against prejudice, injustice, political opposition, diminishing health, and the weight of being a global personality, not just Joe Frazier, George Foreman, or Sonny Liston. Ali's off-the-ring struggles impacted his life as much as his triumphs. Ali encountered racism as a child in Louisville, Kentucky. As a child in the segregated South, Black families were frequently reminded of society's restrictions. Ali saw his parents' humiliation as a child, from being denied restaurant service to having fewer possibilities than their white neighbors. These events instilled defiance in him. From a young age, he took pride in himself and refused to be inferior. Later, his pride defined him. Years of living in a world that told him he couldn't achieve gave him the confidence to name himself the greatest, not arrogance for spectacle. Ali also had big setbacks while other boxers were at their best. His reluctance to be drafted into the military cost him years between 1967 and 1970, yet his efforts continued. He fought in some of boxing's most grueling battles in the 1970s. After his health began to deteriorate in the early 1980s, Ali was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease aged 42. Many specialists attributed his condition to his long history of head trauma. Parkinson's steadily took away his speech, movement, and exuberant personality that had previously lighted up arenas. The once graceful ring dancer now struggled to walk and talk. His fans were heartbroken. Ali battled the cancer with his usual resiliency. Despite his illness, he was often seen, rejecting anonymity. His health issues were not his only problems. Ali struggled financially throughout his life. His extravagant spending, poor business judgments, and the cost of sustaining a huge extended family caused issues despite his millions from fighting. He sometimes had financial difficulties due to his carelessness. Individual catastrophes also occurred, such as divorces, infidelity, and emotional wounds. However, he never let his problems silence him. After boxing, he found meaning in humanitarian activities. Peace, civic rights, and human dignity were his global causes. Ali addressed leaders and regular people with a message beyond boxing. In Africa, the Middle East, and the US, he preached justice, equality, and compassion. He symbolized moral courage and physical strength. He toured refugee camps, donated money for charity, and became a global goodwill ambassador. His Parkinson's battle became a goal to raise awareness and inspire others. One of Ali's most memorable moments was lighting the Olympic torch in Atlanta in 1996. While his hands shook from Parkinson's, the world watched in awe as he lifted the torch, signifying his fight and his undying spirit. That moment reminded millions that Ali's greatness extended beyond his youth and strength. It showed in his dignified acceptance of frailty and decline. Ali never lost sight of his identity as a black guy from segregated America. Even as a world-famous figure, he constantly spoke about his childhood bigotry. He realized that his accomplishment mattered, that he was boxing for everyone who looked to him as proof that barriers could be broken. Life beyond the ring was a continual balance of triumph and hardship for Ali. He battled discrimination, political persecution, and relationship-destroying mistakes. He never wavered in his certainty that he will be great. His challenges made his achievements more important because they demonstrated the cost of staying firm in one's ideas and living life on a great stage. Time didn't cure all wounds. One challenge cut deeper than most. It was something closer to home, not a boxing victory or media criticism. He couldn't forgive betrayal. In July 1964, Muhammad Ali met Sanjay Roy while his life was accelerating. After defeating Sonny Liston to win the heavyweight championship, he became one of America's most famous men. Ali could have chosen his women with all the attention his new title brought. However, Sanjay Roy, a beautiful 23-year-old cocktail waitress in Chicago, won his heart. He proposed to her that night. Ali's hasty choice showed her boldness. At 22, he was confident, and anything looked possible. Within weeks, they married in Gary, Indiana, on August 14, 1964. Externally, it appeared like a fairy tale. Beautiful young champion, attractive woman by his side, and a whirlwind romance that took less than a month to the altar. The foundation was already weak beneath the surface. Instead of love at first sight, the issue was what followed. Not only was Sanjay marrying Muhammad Ali, she also married into his growing Islamist ties. Ali believed beyond himself. His identity revolved around it. After changing his name and embracing Islam, he was resolved to live and raise his family according to its precepts. The level of control and expectation that came with becoming his wife surprised Sanjay. From the start, Sanjay felt compelled to follow customs she didn't believe in. She had to obey strict dress, diet, and public behavior standards. She felt forced to visit the temple, dress modestly, and obey food rules. Sanjay, who was independent and vocal before meeting Ali, felt suffocated. She later described being forced into a lifestyle against her ideals. Ali viewed things differently. To him, These principles were unchangeable. He expected his bride to share his religious beliefs. The tension between his rigorous expectations and her refusal to submit was relentless. Their once strong love was soon overwhelmed by strife. Ali once declared she wouldn't perform her duty. Wearing lipstick, she visited bars. She wore exposing, inappropriate outfits. Sanji was honest about her hardships. Years later, she recalled feeling expected to fight the entire Islamic nation. She once said, "I wasn't going to fight all Muslims. I would probably have died if I had." That statement showed how much pressure she felt and how much she thought refusing to conform could hurt her. For Sanji, marriage was more about survival than love. Within 2 years of their wedding, they divorced in January 1966. Sanji's breakup hurt Ali, his friends, and his brother Rahman. Later stated Ali was heartbroken by the split. It was one of Ali's hardest experiences, according to Rahman. The young champion, who had been criticized for his religious conversion and outspokenness, now had to endure his first marriage's public collapse. For many who knew him, this divorce felt like betrayal, not simply separation. Ali expected his wife to support him, to embrace his life and ideas. He perceived Sanji's refusal and departure as a rejection of him as a man and everything he stood for. For a guy whose pride and identity were inseparable from his faith, such rejection hurt more than any boxing hit. It was harder because of timing. Ali's career and reputation were already under attack. His Islam affiliation was questionable. Many fans were angry over his name change, and the press was scrutinizing him. His wife's inability to adapt and their marriage's breakdown hit him at his weakest point during that storm. Ali could forgive critics and political foes, but he couldn't shake the feeling that his first wife had abandoned him. It was one of the few occasions he said he couldn't forget the hurt. Did he pardon her? Muhammad Ali's relationship with Sanji Roy is one of his most confusing and heartbreaking. Ali never criticized Sanji in interviews or for how their marriage ended, unlike many popular individuals. However, there was no reconciliation or cordial reunion later on. No sign they reconciled. Their romance ended abruptly, leaving unanswered questions. As Ali aged, he focused on peace rather than past confrontations. After retiring from boxing in the 1980s, Parkinson's disease dominated his life. Assisted by Lani, his fourth and final wife, Ali focused on faith, humanitarian activity, and family harmony. Amid addition to boxing, his dignity, humility, and quiet strength amid illness made him famous worldwide. He rarely dwelled on bitterness, according to friends. Ali never publicly called Sanji an adversary, but he never reopened their chapter. He publicly forgave political opponents, journalists, and insulters. The silence around Sanji was startling. While he did not lash out in fury, the hurt may have persisted in his memories. He reportedly wrote, "You exchanged heaven for hell, sweetie," before the divorce. Later, embodied reconciliation in many ways. He traveled the world as a peace ambassador, spreading love and harmony and meeting people from various backgrounds. His first marriage was a void. No reconciliation, forgiveness, or closure. Some claimed that his inner champion never recovered from that first heartbreak. When the woman he married hastily and loved so much refused to follow him. Muhammad Ali died at 74 on June 3, 2016. After a 30-year Parkinson's fight, his septic shock death ended a life that touched millions worldwide. At his funeral, people recalled the champion, philanthropist, and idol who inspired generations. But beneath the tributes was the fact that some portions of his life were likely never mended. He remembered Sanji Roy, his young bride, the one whose leaving scarred him forever. Ali and Sanji Roy's narrative is one of his most difficult. An exciting and romantic marriage was destroyed by conflicting values and inflexible expectations. Ali realized that not everyone could exist in his environment. However, Sanji saw it as proof that love could not erase basic divides. You think, divorcing Ali, did Sanji do right? Comment your answers below. If you like this video, click the next one, like it, and subscribe to our channel for more.